All right, so before we jump into the video, you guys, let me just say this. This video is all over the place. I'm so sorry. The purpose of this video is straight to the point, which is acrylic foundation, acrylic application. That is what this is about. So you're not going to see me prime. You're not going to see me prep. You're not going to see that. You're just going to strictly see me applying the acrylic on the nail. This is the really pretty set that I did yesterday. So I kind of just jump right into it like I do on my videos. Now, part of this video is just a hot mess, but you'll get the point. But pretty much this, I am starting off with my Glam&Glitz acrylic powder. I believe the name of this is it Hip Hip Hooray? Sip Sip? Sip Sip Hooray by, it's not by Glam. Yeah, it's by Glam&Glitz. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're just starting off wrong. So this acrylic powder is by Glam&Glitz, Sip Sip Hooray. It's really pretty. It gives you a nice, not too Barbie pink and not too dull pink. So it's like right in the middle. But let's start here. So with the pinky, I started my application off wrong. As you can see, it showed a lot of the see-through through the nail once I put my first bead on there. I do as many beads as I like that I actually make the nail look well to my desire. So I did kind of start off wrong. I normally use about 3 to 4 beads on a nail. Just depends on how I want the nail to look. But and then the beads I use, I don't want my beads too wet, which as you can see, when I very first started off, my bead was too wet. So when I started to glide it, I'm gonna say on the nail, it just wasn't. Excuse my dog, she's about to get in trouble. I also make sure that I'm covering up the tip of the nail too, because no matter how many beads you put on the nail, sometimes it just won't cover up the whole nail. Sometimes you leave a blotch, or sometimes, you know, the tip of the nail is not covered up all the way and you just have to put some acrylic on the tip. So with all my beads, I start from the middle of the nail up to the cuticle, and then I go back in at the tip of the nail, and then I just kind of throw some acrylic powder on there too, because the entire nail needs to be covered if that's what you're going for. I need my acrylic powder to glide on like butter. If it's not gliding on like butter, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. It's just a bad bead for me. So I still learn. I am about a year into doing nails. Actually, it'll make a year in March and doing nails. So I've been very proud of myself. I've been working for myself for about, I guess about 7-8 months. I've been working for myself. No, it's actually been longer than that I've been working for myself. I do makeup as well as nails. And I work from my home. I'm self-taught in everything that I do. So let me throw this in there. I've been doing makeup for 6.5 years. I've been doing nails for a year. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Sidewalls of those nails too. I had to learn the hard way. When I used to do my sets, it used to be like acrylic all under the nail, and I hated that, because then I would have to go back in when I'm done and just drill what was under the nail, and I hated it so much. So just make sure you get the sidewalls, and make sure you do not flood the cuticle, because that is very, very important. I learned the hard way as well. Do not flood your cuticles, because your client will be paying for it. And you don't want that, because then you'll be hearing their mouth, and you just want to satisfy a customer. You don't want your work to look messy. You never want your work to look messy. So make sure you, I have a hard time doing this sometimes, but just make sure you have the finger pointed downwards, like towards the table, the tip of the finger. That way when you put your beads on the nail, it'll just, like I said, glide like butter, and it'll just move its way downward, because the acrylic is going to move wherever the finger is pointing. Always remember that. So, yep. so bad at recording. Every time I try to record, someone will call, or it's just something always happening when I'm recording. So the video never turned out to be a great video like I want it to be, or like I expect it to be. So it's always something. But yeah, y'all. So like I said, just make sure the nail isn't messy. Some things you can always go back and fix. Some things you can't, just depending on the application. But currently, this is what I've been just doing the 3-4 bead method, and that works for me. I don't try to do the 1 bead. I tried that, and oh my God, the nails was horrible. None of the nails were the same shape. So you can't always follow the leader, you know. Just always have to be the leader and do what works best for you. Also, I had to learn how to maneuver with the client finger. Don't be scared to move their fingers around. Don't be scared to, if you gotta bend them or pull them a little bit, don't be scared, because the way you hold your brush, the way you hold their finger is the way your application is gonna sit on the nail. I'm still learning. I promise y'all, I learned from my mistakes, and I'm only telling y'all what I have experienced. I used to have a hard time keeping I used to use too much acrylic to where I was just wasting a lot of it. I put it on the nail, and of course it was just too much, so then it would be all on the paper towel, and I hate that. So you will see on some of the fingers in the video that, like, if I put a bead on her finger and I take the brush and I kind of swoop it over and back onto the nail because I don't want it to drop on the paper towel, use that acrylic. Use that acrylic. There's nothing wrong with that acrylic. If it drops on the paper towel and it's still wet for you to maneuver, pick that acrylic up and put it back on the nail. Don't do too much. Don't do too much, because then you'll be wasting a lot of product. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the filing. Once I got done with the application, I went straight into filing the tip of the nail because it was more like a dip. And I didn't want the dip, I want just a square shape on the tip. Now the dip on the tip be fire. But we're not doing no dips on these. We're gonna do just a square shape, if that makes sense. Just a flat square shape. That's what we're doing. Okay, y'all, so kind of got to whisper now because I'm getting my hair done. So this part, it was terrible because my lighting was off. My ring light was acting stupid. But what I'm using is some pink acrylic paint. I use that for the outline of the nail because I don't really use polish or have any. So I just use acrylic paint. And I'm just taking this pretty baby pink and I'm putting it in the outline of her nail. So next I am taking these stickers, they're butterflies, and I'm just putting them on her nail. I put 2 on each finger. So she had one on the middle finger, and then on her other hand she had it, I believe, on the ring finger, if I'm not mistaken. Now last but not least, I am putting on my top coat. I'm using Legacy. The brand is Legacy Nails. I got it from my local nail supply lady that I get my supplies from. Normally I use, is it CNC, I believe, top coat. But here I ran out of CNC. That's my favorite, and I get that at my nail supply store. But Legacy has been doing its job, so I've really been liking the shine that it stays on for a while. So this is what I'm using for my top coat. And you can't forget the oil. And that's it, you guys. Let me know how you like. This is pretty simple, but this is the outcome of the nails. Yep, pretty. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment if you need to. If you have some tips and tricks that you guys would like for me to see or know, or just give me some advice, drop them down below. Thanks. Bye.